What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, Donnie here, back with our November 2025 big event New York haul. If you're not a best one yet already and you want to watch me rebuild my collection or relive my nostalgic memories, recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, because of course you already know the grind is real. Before we get into this massive big event New York haul, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank each and every one of you best ones. We are Wrestling Maniacs that I actually got the opportunity to meet at Big Event New York or even House of Glory. So many of you guys came up to me and we talked wrestling figures, we talked wrestling, took some pictures. That's usually my highlight when it comes to these big events and Comic-Cons and things that I do for you guys, is getting the opportunity to meet you, and it really makes all of this worth it, because running two full-time YouTube channels while working a full-time shoot job, because you gotta pay the bills, you gotta pay the figure somehow, it's a lot of stress, and sometimes I get down on myself. Sometimes I think, what am I doing? Like, am I wasting my time? And when I go to big event and I meet you guys, it reminds myself why I'm doing this, and from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. Because if you do see me at a convention, do not hesitate to come up to me and say what's up. And I met so many of you guys, and man, really made this big event even more special for me. But today we have a massive big event New York autograph haul. So many things we picked up at the big event New York. If you guys want to check out that vlog, it is up on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. You can see all the meet and greets I've done. But today in this video, you already know the tradition. We're going to show you all the things we got signed, all the 8x10s, all the WWE and AEW action figures, my replica hardcore championship, and even some things that we picked up at the toy booth. This is going to be a long video, so sit back, relax, and with that being said, let's get it. The grind is Let's start off with some of the things I picked up at the merch stand at House of Glory, because for the first time ever at Big Event New York, they actually did a collaboration show with House of Glory, one of the biggest independent promotions in the New York area. This was my first time going to House of Glory, which we will have a whole wrestling vlog up on the We Are Wrestling channel, hopefully in the next couple weeks. But we did pick up some merch, and you guys all know I love my trucker hats, so we got ourselves a nice black and orange House of Glory hat, and I don't really have an orange trucker hat, so definitely gave me a reason to pick that up. And I'm a huge independent wrestling supporter too, and yeah, House of Glory, man, they were fantastic. But we also ended up picking up this shirt from one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster, and that is Charles Mason. We got the Root of All Evil shirt. This is somebody that I'm surprised is not signed to TNA, WWE, or AEW, but right now he's currently the Hog Champion, and I saw that shirt and I thought it looked cool. Then we also got ourselves a crew neck House of Glory shirt here to keep myself warm in this cold Best One Studios in the wintertime, because I do live watch-alongs, I do a live podcast once a week, and I record a bunch of toy videos here, so I'll be wearing this a lot, and it's gonna definitely be keeping me warm. Alright, here we go. We got ourselves a nice little bag here. We're gonna show you the figures we picked up at these booths, because I do want to save all the autograph stuff for last, but we got a lot of awesome things. And the first thing I do want to show off before we get into this bag, this is the classic superstars that honestly I've been waiting for the right price. And we got Kona Crush, one of my favorite classic superstar figures that I got growing up, and the price is $50, but I was able to knock the price down to $40, because one of my tricks that I like to do when I go to big event, and when I go to these conventions, is wait before the event ends to go to these vendors, because then they're going to want to work deals out with you, because it's less stuff for them to carry out of the convention center into their car or truck or whatever they're driving. But here it is, we got Kona Crush, and this is just minty mint. Such great condition. This is something that I definitely am going to be putting in a protector case, because I don't want to get into classic superstars, like, fully, because that's just another can of worms that I don't need to open, but I do want to get a couple definitive ones that I really liked. And I do think I'm going to try to find a Minty Mint Yokozuna at some point, because they were probably both of my favorite classic superstars growing up, and I only need a couple of them to represent my collection. But here it is, we got Kona Crush, and honestly can't wait until we get the Elite figure of his. But really excited to start getting some Minty Mint figures, because I do want to represent some of those in my collection, especially with the expansion. Here's our little bag right here. A lot of these figures I actually picked up from J&J, which, man, they are fantastic. They are so nice. The hospitality, they gave me such great deals. And the first figure we have here in package, I had to get it. FC Toys. We got the Bone Crushing Wrestlers. We got Double J, Jeff Jarrett, 1997, when he was doing the whole NWA thing, which I just got the Hardys. If you guys haven't checked out that review video, I believe I did a YouTube short on it. I would definitely go check that out, because these Bone Crunchers, this FC is the only ones that are doing it. These are legit. And I want to continue to support this line, at least with people that fit the timeline of my original Bone Crushing action figures. There it is, we got good old Jeff Jarrett here. Very good condition. I skipped out on the 1999 Jeff Jarrett, because I didn't really need that. But we also picked up from J&J, and I had to get this one signed. We got the Alley Catch Major Bendy, which you guys are probably wondering, why did I pick this up? I don't usually collect the big rubber guys or the bendies. I had to pick this up because Alley Catch is somebody who We Are Wrestling has sponsored several times, and she's somebody that I'm such a big fan of. And she was actually at this convention, and I really wanted to show my support to her because I am such a big fan of hers. And I saw this figure, had to pick it up. We got the Bloody Edition, which is the one I've been looking for the longest time, and J&J Figures had it, so I had to pick it up. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, we got some Lucy's, baby. Gotta love the Lucy's. Can never go wrong with the loose figure. Alright, here we go. Let's start off with Paul Bear. This is a bone crunching figure that I've been looking for quite a while now, and we got him right here. I don't know if the original one came with the urn or not. I think it did, but I do need Paul Bear for that shelf, so we picked that up, and we pretty much got all of these discounted from J&J. They gave us such good deals. Moving on, we do have here a TNA Marvel Devon Dudley figure here, and honestly for this time, so underrated. Such an underrated figure, which by the way, the reason I'm not taking these out of the bag is because I am going to be doing a massive miscellaneous video with each action figure line, because now that we do have some new shelves in the studio, we're taking things out of storage and putting them on the shelves. So I do want to do like a whole miscellaneous video, because I have a lot of Marvel figures that have been pretty much like packed away for months. And same with the bone crunching action, so I kind of want to do some miscellaneous videos for each of the lines that I have for new figures. But moving on, we do have here a Big John stud, which I figured I could throw this into the old school shelf here. This is a figure that I skipped out on a long time ago, and for the price I got it for, had to pick it up. Moving on, we do have here another figure from the J&J booth. We got the Brian Kendrick here. This was a Ringside Collectibles exclusive, and I forgot if I have this or not, but Brian Kendrick, this is a deep cut, and I figured he'd be good for the miscellaneous shelf. I was always a fan of Brian Kendrick. I just wish during his time they gave us the Brian Kendrick or something besides like his current run at that time. Here it is here. We got the jacket and everything with him. And finally, we have another TNA Marvel that I've been looking for everywhere. I still have his original Team Canada, but I don't have the Don't Fire Eric Showtime Eric Young. This is a classic right here with the Frohawk, the Don't Fire Eric shirt. Yeah, this is great. This is another good Lucy. And you can just never go wrong with the loose figures. And J&J, like, they have such great conditioned Lucy's. They have such great conditioned figures. Usually they bat 1,000. Let's move on now to our 8x10s that we do have here in this massive folder, which, oh yeah, we got lots of 8x10s because I do have my personalized collection that I like to do. I've been pretty much doing personalized 8x10s ever since I've been a little kid as a wrestling fan. So this is something that I do want to keep as a tradition. I do have lots of friggin' business cards from people. Which, here it is here. We got Hasdale Toys. I actually got to meet Mitch, which was very cool. Got to feel out the Regium figures and stuff, which I'm sure I've already uploaded as a YouTube short here on the channel for you awesome people. And it will be in the vlog if you guys want to go check the vlog out on the We Are Wrestling channel. Here's a free card we got actually from J&J Figures. Very nice, very nice. And here we go. Oh man, so many 8x10s. And let's start off here with Baron Corbin. We went with this one with the United States Championship. If they did have an NXT one, I would have picked that up instead because I was a big fan of the Lone Wolf on NXT. But shout out to Salvatore Promotions for bringing him in. Moving on now, we do have good old Taz here, which we did go with the ECW, and I totally forgot to ask him to personalize this one right here. So it is what it is, but at least I got his Attitude Era WWF 8x10 here personalized, which, yeah, Taz was amazing. Shout out to K&S for bringing Taz in. He's been on my bucket list for such a long time. And wait until we get into the action figures and even the hardcore title, because his signature looks so good on it. But moving on, we do have good old Swerve, former AEW World Champion. He's somebody that I have been waiting to meet because I feel like every convention they announce him, he gets canceled. But it didn't happen this time, so I had to capitalize on that opportunity. And I'm so mad because we're supposed to be getting a Shop AEW exclusive of this figure. Who knows if it's even going to come out at this point. But if it does, man, I could have had it signed if it was here. Which, that's something that always happens with me. And as an autographed wrestling figure collector, that absolutely sucks. But moving on, we got to meet Layla, part of Lay Cool, and she's somebody that's been on my bucket list for a little while. I was nervous that she was going to cancel because a lot of the times if I see somebody at a wrestling convention, but I already have so many people I have to meet, I try to wait, and I feel like I strike out a lot because the person that I wait for ends up canceling, and I'm glad Layla didn't because she was at WrestleCon in New Jersey, but she was here at Big Event, and I went with that 8x10. She was very sweet. Moving on now, I got the opportunity to meet MJF's wife, Tits McGee. I got to meet Alicia, all jokes aside, and this was a really cool experience because she's somebody that I was supposed to meet a couple years ago, but ended up canceling. Here it is here. We got her finally. And I got a funny little vlog bit for the Big Event vlog. That's up on the We Are Wrestling channel. Moving on to one of probably the best meet and greets I had at Big Event New York, and that is Kylie Ray. She's somebody who I've been wanting to meet for quite a while. I've been following her career going all the way back to the original AEW All In. I remember she was one of the first few women that were signed to the promotion, but then she was going through some mental health issues, which is why she wasn't a part of AEW. And man, I've been such a big fan of hers, what she's did for WoW, what she's done for NWA, Impact Wrestling, and even getting to be a part of WWE ID. So getting to meet her was very nice, and even gave me a hug too because she appreciated some of the words I said. And she was just so kind, and I really wish nothing but the absolute best for her, and I mean that. Somebody that I truly think I'm gonna get on the We Are Wrestling podcast. But moving on now to another guy that just left WWE, and that is Lance. I'm not even going to try pronouncing his last name because I'm going to botch it. But we met Lance. He just left WWE NXT, and he loved my Grind is Real shirt, which you can get on my merch store. First link down in the description box below. Yeah, you thought I forgot to plug that. But moving on. Oh man, this was another great meet and greet experience. We got to meet the Blueprint, the DNA of TNA, Matt Morgan. What a nice guy. Just like Kylie Ray, I'm definitely going to be getting Matt Morgan on the podcast. Such a nice guy. I met him years ago at a TNA house show, but I never got a picture with him, never really got his autograph. But man, Matt Morgan, such a nice guy, family man, such a great father to his son. What a guy. Moving on to our next meet and greet. Got to meet former Impact Wrestling Knockout Champion, Su Yung. Loved her gimmick, love her entrance, she was very nice. Then we got to meet SmackDown referee, which it's crazy because I feel like this year we've met so many different former WWE referees, because we met Mike Chioda at WrestleCon, but at Big Event we met Jimmy Corderas. And I will say it was so weird seeing him with a normal black and white referee shirt instead of the SmackDown one, because like when I think of him, I think of this here. And he was so friggin' cool. And then even this person had a really cool, it was like a one of one. It was like a SmackDown apron, and they had Jimmy Corderas sign it, which, man, that looked really sick. But moving on, we got to meet one of my most underrated favorite FCW wrestlers, and that is Brad Maddox. And he was a Raw general manager for a little bit. Then he got fired for calling a fan a prick at a house show. I will say I was looking forward to this meet and greet, but I will say Brad's a little weird. I don't like the dry humor that he has. Very uncomfortable meeting him, and it took him like 20 minutes to write this. But moving on, ooh, here's a legend right here. We got the Great Muta here. And a lot of the times when it comes to like Japanese wrestlers, I don't really ask them to personalize because I don't want to go through that stress there, but there it is. We got Great Muta, and that red paint marker looks so good with the red face paint. Love that 8x10. But moving on here, we got Roderick Strong. I could have went with the AEW 8x10, but I chose to go with his WWE NXT 8x10 because I did like his run in NXT better than his AEW run. And man, Undisputed Era was so good. And I love like he put the inscriptive, shock the system. Roddy was cool. I met Bobby, met Adam, now I need to meet Kyle O'Reilly. But here we go, another 8x10. We got Paul Elgrin, WWE Hall of Famer, class of 2011, manager for the Road Warriors, manager for lots of legends in the business. Paul Elgrin, first time meeting him. I actually got to meet his daughter Rachel years back. But oh man, we got so many 8x10s. Wow, we haven't even got to the autograph figures. This is going to be a long video. But here we go. This one's funny. So, I got the opportunity to meet FBI member Johnny Stamboli here. And I actually brought Nunzio in for a wrestling classic a year or two ago. And man, finally I got the opportunity to meet Johnny Stamboli, part of FBI. And here's the funny thing. I had no idea he was Relic in TNA, so I had to get this 8x10 done of Relic, because I watched TNA every Thursday on Spike in 2007 when he was doing the Relic character, so I had to pick that up, and that was a really cool conversation, talking about how he felt like they missed the opportunity with him. A lot of these meet and greet experiences were so good at this big event. But moving on, ooh, one of the best podcast hosts in the wrestling community right now. That is CVV, Chris Van Vliet. What a cool guy. What a nice, grateful guy. This was a great meet and greet. And I even do have his micro brawler somewhere in here that I also got signed as well. But Chris Van Vliet, I'm so happy I finally got to meet him because I love his podcast. I love his interviews. And I love that, like, he's not looking for the clicks. He's not looking for the drama. He's just looking to have a genuine conversation with some of our favorite larger-than-life superstars. Well, let's move on now to Carmella. Had to go with her holding the SmackDown Women's World Championship here. And my God, her meet and greet thing was way too long. Should have got VIP for her, because she was talking, but I understand some wrestlers, they want to give those fans that opportunity, but I feel like the staff members, yeah, no, that's a whole nother thing for another time. But here is my pro photo op, my only one I did, and that is with the Great Muta in his gear, which I thought that this was an opportunity I just couldn't miss. And honestly, I'm kind of regretting not doing Goldberg there, because the Goldberg meet and greet was just like snap of a finger. But moving on, we do have Wesley here. That's right, Desmond Xavier, former North American champion, just left WWE, and now he's back in TNA. So I had to go with him holding the North American title. Then we have Goldberg, which didn't even give me 2 seconds to say, can you personalize this to Don? This was definitely not a good meet and greet experience, and maybe I'll talk about that in a whole separate video. But at least we got Goldberg done, and we can put him in the WCW binder. Oh, moving on, we got another NXT legend here, Shayna Baszler. She was also very quiet, but very nice as well at the same time. And her match that she did at House of Glory was really, really good. And here's another NXT star. We got Jasmine Nix. She just left WWE as well, and we got her done. Then we also got Shotzi here, which, oh yeah, that green paint marker really stands out. Shotzi was really cool as well. That was a fun meet and greet experience. Then let's get into some WWE ID prospects, and we got here Swipe Right, Ricky Smokes, and beautiful Brad Baylor. Been following Brad Baylor for quite a while since he started in the business. Did a lot for Northeast Wrestling after the pandemic, and now he's a part of WWID with Ricky Smokes. And these guys were very, very cool. And I actually ended up getting extra 8x10s because we are going to be doing giveaways on this channel and the We Are Wrestling channel, of course. So we ended up getting some extra WWID 8x10s here. We also got to meet Jackson Drake. He's the WWE Evolve champion here. So we got to meet him, which it was cool holding the championship and everything. Another very talented guy, which we do have extra 8x10s for them. So we are going to be doing giveaways here on the channel with those. So definitely stay tuned, but we still have a couple more 8x10s to go over. Then we're going to get into the autograph stuff, and we might as well start off with Hastel Toys. We got the good old Godwins here, which, yeah, I cannot wait for their Red GM figures that, I guess, by the time this video comes out, they are available in stock. But don't quote me on that because I'm recording this on Sunday. Mitch told me it was going to be in stock this week. So here it is. We got both the Godwins here. That was a good meet and greet experience. Then we also did meet the Righteous, Dutch and Vincent. I met them prior, but obviously they've done more since I met them all the way back in Northeast Wrestling years ago. And then we also met Roadkill here, which, man, he was trying to finesse me. Not even gonna lie. Trying to make me pay $120 to get a retro figure signed, even though I don't collect the retros. And I kept telling him, like, no, man, I just want an 8x10 and a photo op. And then he upcharged me. It was like $60. I don't even know why I paid the $60. But it is what it is. And last but not least, premium signatures. They brought in Kenzo Suzuki and his wife, and this was a very rare meet and greet opportunity, so I had to take advantage of this because I was a Ruthless Aggression kid. Even though Kenzo Suzuki's run was very short, only won the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship, it was still a really cool opportunity to meet him. And I know some people actually had that rare 2-pack of him and Renee, and they actually got it completed because Premium Signatures brought him in. There it is here. That blue paint marker looks so good. Let's get into all of our autographed premium items. And we have a bunch of figures, but I do want to show you guys my Hardcore Championship. One of my favorite replica titles to get autographs on, because anytime I have a former Hardcore Champion sign this, they always have a story, they always have something interesting to say. And we added 2 more signatures to this belt. And starting things off, we have right there with the orange, we got Taz on the Hardcore title. He's a former champion, and pretty much told me that he didn't really like the Hardcore title stipulation because he thought it was a joke to what they were doing in ECW. But we also do have another signature here, and that is Billy Gunn, which I didn't know he was Hardcore Champion. It didn't really ring a bell until I was there, because I figured, alright, well, I'm at this wrestling convention, I got this replica title, let's see who's held this title, because sometimes I forget, because some of these people that were holding this title, they had it that quick. But now, let's show you guys all the figures we got autographed. Let's start off with our smallest figure here that didn't take up any space at all, and that is Insight with Chris Van Vliet. We got his Micro Brawler here, and I like to hang these on my stairway as you're coming down to the Best One Studios. I don't normally get Micro Brawler signed, but for Chris Van Vliet, had to make the exception, because honestly, he is one of my favorite wrestling podcast shows right now. There it is. We got good old Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Love that. But now, let's get into the actual figures here, and let's start off with WWE Elite Series 67, Shayna Baszler. And I had to go with the yellow paint marker because this is NXT Shayna, because it does come with the NXT belt. And man, this looks really good. And honestly, this style packaging, I was just telling Nikki Choke this, and a couple of my other wrestling buddies. This is my favorite style packaging when it comes to the WWE Elite figures. So I went with this right here with the yellow paint marker. And honestly, this might be Shayna's best figure. Moving on now to another box that's very similar to Shayna Baszler. This is a part of the WWE Fan Central. We got Carmella. And when it comes to these figures, normally I was getting multiples done. For a lot of them now, I am only going to be picking like 1 or maybe 2. Because I don't really have like the real estate to have like 5 Carmellas on my wall. So that's why we stuck with this right here with her winning the Money in the Bank. And honestly, I do like the green paint marker, but it's so weird because she was writing a lot more on other people's boxes, but for mine, she just wrote Miss Money in the Bank and then pretty small signature on a big window. Moving on now to our next figure we have here, WWE Elite Series 57, Baron Corbin with the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I also went with the yellow because it really stood out. And I don't know what it is. Every convention, there's like one paint marker color that stands out to me. I feel like this year, it was the pink and the yellow. There it is here. We got the yellow paint marker on Baron Corbin. And the reason I went with the yellow on that one is because we had to go with the blue with one of these older elites. Shout out to my buddy in Justin We Trust. Part of the perch on the top rope. We got this Baron Corbin right here. And I want to say this is WWE Elite 51 or 49. Don't remember. But I had to go with this one because this is my favorite era of Baron Corbin. And honestly, I love the way the blue paint marker looks on this figure. Let's move on now to a figure that I actually picked up the day of the big event in New York, and that is WWE Legends 13, Jake the Snake Roberts. And for my WWE Legends Mint on Card autograph collection, I have only this style packaging. So I do want to continue keeping these, and I'm only doing select few. I don't really want to be completing them, but here we got Jake, and I actually like the green paint marker on this, even though it doesn't really match the gear, but I think the marker and the autograph stands out. Sometimes that's the best thing to do. There it is, we got good old Jake, and I think I picked this up at J&J, the figure Mint on Card. So shout out to J&J Figures. Let's show you guys another figure I actually picked up the day of the show with my Jake the Snake Roberts, and that is Wesley. And I actually already do have Zachary Wentz, Nash Carter. I already got his figure signed at a Blitzkrieg show. So we are a wrestling sponsor, Blitzkrieg. And with Wesley, he was a last minute addition to the big event in New York because he just got released by WWE. And I got a great deal on this thanks to J&J. Man, I love the way the pink paint marker came out on this figure. And I knew I wanted the paint marker to be different because I know with Nash Carter, Zachary Wentz, I went with the green, so I kind of wanted it to be pink to kind of coordinate with the gear. And honestly, I love the way the signature looks on here. Super excited to finally have that complete. So now let's get into some AEW figures we got signed. Starting off, we have Willow Nightingale, her very first AEW figure. And honestly, the baby blue paint marker looks so good on this figure because she does have some of that light blue, like on the pink gear she is wearing here. And Willow Nightingale, she's somebody who wrestled around my area before getting signed to AEW. So when they announced the figure, I knew I wanted to get this signed. And I'm not going to mention the vendor because I totally got ripped off. I should have just did a mail-in because I've already met her before. But we also did get the rare 1 of 3,000 done. And that's the thing about the AEW figures. Sometimes I do get ripped off a little bit, and I do pay additional, because this is some of my favorite figures to get autographed and signed for my collection. The AEW Jazzware line is what got me back into all of this. I can't blame my wallet half the time. I have to blame the AEW Jazzware line, because then one thing led to another, and now I have literally a whole room filled with toys. But there it is here. We got the rare 1 of 3,000. Love the way the Willow Nightingale figure looks, which I believe you can get that rare 1 of 3,000 on ringsidecollectibles.com, because they are starting to sell the chases on there. But let's move on now back to WWE with our WWE Elite Series 72, Roderick Strong in his War Games attire here. And this is one of the more expensive figures out of the 4. I think you can get Bobby Fish, Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly at a reasonable price. I did have to pay a little bit extra in the second market for this. But of course, Undisputed Era, they wore yellow. Had to go with the yellow paint marker here for Roddy. And he couldn't have been any nicer. And it was really cool to get a video of him screaming my name. Even though he said we are wrestling at the end and then the freaking guy cut the camera. But Shout out to ATP Promotions for bringing in Roderick Strong. And then, of course, I had to get the latest AEW Unmatched Series 12. Roddy with the neck brace. Oh, this is such a great looking figure. And I love the inscriptives that he did put on his signatures. The Elite one, he put Shock the System. This one, he put Adam. But I love this figure. This is definitely probably Roderick's best figure we've gotten. And if the line was continuing, I would hope for a Ring of Honor Roderick Strong, but that's probably not going to happen. Alright, let's move on now to one of the older style Elite packagings. WWE's Elite 19 Dolph Ziggler. And my God, I waited so long in his line because whoever was working that line, they were just letting people talk to him for 10, 15 minutes at a time. And yeah, I missed out on a few people because of that. So that was a little annoying, but here it is. We got Dolph Ziggler with the pink paint marker here. He does have another figure in this style packaging, but I've decided with this style packaging, I only want to get one of certain characters for my collection. Because I do have the Rise Above Hate John Cena signed, I have the CM Punk Best in the World with his Money in the Bank gear signed, and I know that they have multiple figures in this style packaging, so I am trying to narrow it down to just one per person. There it is, we got good old Dolph Ziggler right there. Love these figures, and I'm so happy about the little collection that we've built. So now let's get into some of the big names that were at Big Event New York that we got done. And my God, I was really excited about Taz, and we got so many figures of his signed. So we're just going to show them to you guys. So we got AEW Unrivaled Series 10 standard Taz figure signed. You could say this is commentator Taz, or you could say this is Team Taz, because he did have a little faction in the early days of AEW. But of course, orange is his color, so I had to go with that. And I also ended up getting his lackluster 1 of 3,000 Chase with the black hat on. Honestly, one of the worst Chase that they've ever come out with. Like, where's the FTW logo? We've gotten the toy title with Hook. Why didn't we get an FTW logo on the hat like it is on the back of the shirt? But with Taz making a rare meet and greet appearance, because he doesn't do a lot of these, I had to take advantage of the opportunity and get the rare done, even though I'm not a fan of the figure. But one of the figures that was probably my favorite that I got done for this entire event is the Classic Superstars Taz. Even though this is him in more of his Attitude Era look than his ECW, but there it is here. I do got to get a protector on katana cases for this here, and I got this signed because I also have a Sabu Classic Superstar signed as well, and I kind of want to put these in like acrylic cases or something. I want to do something nice with the Classic Superstars because I don't want to collect these loose, but I also don't want to be a completist and have 100 of these, so I'm only really narrowing it down to a couple. Let's move on now to another rare appearance, and that is the Great Muta. And I already know, if you are a subscriber to the channel and you watch reviews, I always critique the packaging for the Ultimate Editions mint on card. And you're probably wondering, why, Best One Donnie, did you get a Ultimate Edition figure signed? This is my only one I'm ever going to be getting autographed, is Great Muta, because he doesn't really fit anywhere in my collection. He has that Monday Night Wars figure with that horrible small window. I don't collect those mint on card. The newest Legend figures, I don't collect those either mint on card signed, because I do have the previous boxes. So that's why I had to go with the Ultimate Edition, and I believe this is the Chase Great Muta, and I actually found this one out in the wild, and I paid retail price for when I was away on vacation probably like a year and a half ago. But we also do have the standard figure as well autographed. And with Great Muta, like, I think I have a really cool idea with these figures here. Am I a fan of the packaging? No. Do I respect that it is uniformed? Absolutely. But these will be the only two Ultimate Edition figures in my collection that will ever be autographed unless we get new packaging. But here it is. Great Muta. Actually, thinking about it now, I do have the CM Punk Ringside Collectibles exclusive signed. That's Ultimate, but the packaging is a lot better on that than this. Let's move on to one of my favorite AEW wrestlers currently, right now in All Elite Wrestling, and that is Swerve Strickland versus Black AEW Champion. And here we go. We got his first AEW figure signed. This is around the time he was teaming with Keith Lee when he made his debut in All Elite Wrestling. Had to go with the purple because I thought it would look good with the Phoenix Sun colors he was wearing. Swerve, because I was supposed to meet him at a couple other conventions before Big Event, but he ended up canceling, which honestly worked out in my favor because he's gotten more figures since then. But moving on, we do have one of his newest figures here, and that is the Full Gear pay-per-view figure, which, man, this looks great. I love the orange paint marker on this. It looks so good with like the orange foil, and I've just always been such a big fan of the AEW packaging on the figures. And then we also do have his second unrivaled figure, Series 17, which we had to go with the gold here, which honestly, kind of regretting. I should have had a more brighter color on this, maybe like a pink or like a lime green, something light, because I think it would have made this stood out even more. But it is what it is. But the one that I'm the most excited about having here is the San Diego Comic-Con 1 of 1,000, which, oh man, here we go. There it is. We got our Swerve figure, which, man, I love the way that this looks. This is so good. And I actually, believe it or not, missed out on the Jazzwares one when it came out, and I'm kind of glad I did because I think the San Diego one is a lot better, so that's what we chose. And this purple just looks so good on the Swerve figures. And finally, we have one of the headliners of this Big Event New York, and that is Goldberg. All jokes aside, Goldberg. And I didn't do the private signing, so I actually got my stuff signed because I was there. And we got WWE Elite Series 74 Goldberg during his WWE run in 2003. We got that signed, which the yellow I think looks good on there. And of course, we had to get a WCW Goldberg. I'm not a WWE Ultimate Edition mint on card autograph collector, so I went with the second best thing here, and that is WWE Entrance Great Goldberg. This is a classic figure here, and I think that this is gonna look so good. Don't know where I'm gonna display it. Gotta find a place. But this was my second mint on card entrance great that is signed. First one is the Chris Jericho, which I do like better than the Goldberg because the Jericho one is a lot smaller in the package, and I think it looks a little bit better. Goldberg here is a little bit more bulky, but there it is here. We got his signature, and I used to love these entrance greats. I'm surprised that the wave died. That is everything. What a long video it was. Let me know in the comment section below your favorite thing that we got signed at the Big Event New York. And if you are ever going to go to a future Big Event New York and you do see me, don't hesitate, come say what's up, take a picture, talk some wrestling with me, because honestly, meeting you guys is my highlight whenever I go to Big Event. If you guys haven't checked out the full vlog for this event, me meeting the wrestlers, the real one-on-one interactions, that video is up on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. If you're not the best one yet already and you want more awesome wrestling figure videos, recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, links down in the description box below. You can go follow me over on my social medias, and you can go check out We Are Wrestling if you want to check out the full vlog for the Big Event New York. All the signatures that I got done, all the pictures, all my interactions are in that vlog. Links are down in the description box below if you want to get yourself a Grind is Real shirt. They're also available now. But to all the best ones out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.